I've known Kyle for almost 28 years now, and if you're wondering about my math, it's because we met at the ripe old age of 16 weeks. So I know a thing or two about him, and I was honored and humbled that he asked me to be his best man and say a few words tonight. Not many people can say that they're still friends with somebody that they met when they were in diapers. And the fact that we are is thanks to Kyle and his ability to always find a middle ground or shared experiences between the two of us, no matter what stage of life we were in or how far apart that we lived. And Kyle's ability to form strong connections is probably the same reason why we have such an irreversible bond. But what would a friendship as old as ours be without a little trouble? So, as kids, we once tied sheets together and tried to climb out of the second story of my house. We dressed up as spies and would terrorize my neighbors throughout the neighborhood. We had soft wars through barricades we built with furniture. And we rode mattresses down the stairs. And one time we even set the street on fire. But I'll save that story for maybe later. But luckily, we stayed out of trouble for the most part. And thankfully, we grew up, if only just a little bit. But as we've grown, Kyle's remarkable ability to bring people together through shared experiences, as you all know, it's really spilled over for me into his ability to cook and his ability to bring people together. He always creates the perfect meal, and he times it with just this ridiculous efficiency. And even when I try to throw him a curveball like frying pork chops in vinegar after seeing it on some show, he's like, "Yeah, sure, we'll try it." And he nails it every time. And he's never afraid to go the extra mile, whether it's going to the Cap Farmers Market and braving the chaos that is even during the pandemic to go get whatever he needs to get, or taking a fresh caught fish 20 minutes back on a bus to his apartment when he lived in Ghana. He always goes the extra mile. But as his love for food developed, and that's in thanks, I think, part to New Orleans. And this place has changed him for the better in more ways than one. But as we all know, cooking is not nearly as much fun when there's no one there to eat with. And that's when I come to Sophie. And so the first time I met Sophie was actually the first time that I ever came to New Orleans. The first time I ever visited Kyle at Tulane. And
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I'm cutting it off.
I'll spare everybody the details, but long story short, we ended up exploring an apartment complex being built just across the street from where you guys got married
We took pictures
today.
there today too.
Yeah, just where we took pictures. And I remember thinking after that night that
I'm sorry, that's the COVID positive kid calling. I totally apologize. I'm so sorry.
no worries. And I remember thinking after that night that Sophie could really be one of us. And then the second time that I met Sophie was again here in New Orleans. At this time, I had some more friends with me, and it was a different vibe. But it also marked the end of his time here at Tulane. And we all went out the first night, but I remember the second night. "Oh, we're going out. Kyle, you got to join us." Like, "Come on, man." And he's like, "No, I'm staying." We stayed in with Sophie that night, and that's when I thought, things are getting pretty serious between these guys. Like, I don't know what's going on. But when Kyle told me that he was going back to school to chase his dreams and find a career that he truly loved, and that Sophie was so encouraging and supportive the whole time, that's when I knew, Sophie, that you were the one for Kyle. Sophie, you are intelligent, hardworking, passionate, and you look gorgeous. You have breezed through doctoral school, and you tackled the challenge of teaching head on, even though I know it wasn't your favorite. And I know that no matter what you choose to do as you take this next step in your lives together, that you both be wildly successful. Sophie, you make Kyle better by helping him reach his potential. You encourage him to chase his dreams. You always love him for who he is. And you're always supportive, even if that means being his sugar mama for the next few years. And I cannot forget that you're one of the best sous chefs in the business and always helping him in the kitchen. As Truman Capote once said, anyone who gave you confidence, you owe them a lot. Sophie, you gave Kyle the confidence to be himself, and he owes you the world for that. As both sides of the aisle can attest, separately you are both wonderful people, but together you are a phenomenal couple that each of us is lucky to know, with a story and a love that everyone here wants to be around, emulate, follow along with, and by this point, raise a glass to, because I'm carrying on with you. Wishing you both a lifetime of health and happiness to Sophie.
Cheers.